everybody. Welcome to Rock and Pop Mandolin, RPM, your site for learning classic rock and pop songs on this wonderful little 8-stringed instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and today we're going back to a song that might be a little obscure to many of you guys, but certainly it's one of my favorite songs, and it's really, really simple. So it's really only 2 parts for you to get down underneath your fingers, but it's a lot of fun. It's a song called I Go Blind. Now, you might remember it from Hootie and the Blowfish in the mid-1990s. It ended up on the Friends soundtrack, but that was actually a cover by Hootie and the Blowfish. The original version of this song was written by a Canadian band called 5440, and specifically written by the lead singer Neil Osborne back in 1986. And to be honest with you, I prefer that original version, the 5440 version. So if you get a chance, check that out. It's a really cool version of the song. But the Hootie and the Blowfish version is also cool, and that's probably the one you're a little more familiar with. So I'll show you how to play this very easy song on the mandolin, and you can go off and jam with your friends on this one as well. But first, a little bit of business. If you're new here, thanks for checking out this channel. But don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button on your way out. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks very much for coming back once again. We really appreciate your support. But don't forget to check out our description links down below in the description box, including the link to my new Johansson mandolin. You can check out the website there for Ross Johansson's mandolins. I also have a link down there for my new lesson series called Learn Rock and Pop Mandolin with Mike DeJong. That's right, you can learn how to play mandolin right from the beginning. If you're a beginner player or maybe a guitar player coming over to mandolin, those video lessons are perfect for you, and they're only $29.99, which is a real bargain. Also down below in the description box, you'll find a link to my Patreon page. You can join our Patreon team if you want, and affiliate links for Sweetwater and Amazon. But that's enough business for now. Let's check out this song called I Go Blind by 5440 and later Hootie and the Blowfish for mandolin here on RPM. All right, I Go Blind is really one repeating riff with a couple of chord changes beyond there, and it is in the key of G. So let's get a G chord here. An open G will work for this song, right? So your open G, which is 2nd fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the E string, of course, right? And these strings down here. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do a little pattern that goes like this. All right, it's all played over that G. And what I like to do is try to keep this finger locked down there on the 2nd fret, at least for part of the riff, all right? And I'm going to show you what I mean here. So let's do this slowly. You see what I'm doing there? I'm keeping that finger locked down to still, maintain part of that G chord, which will ring out as you go down to here and to here. All right, so what am I doing down there? Well, I'm on the G string, so you're going open G, open D. Just those 2 strings right there with that one locked down again. Okay, so you're walking down on the G string from the 5th fret to the 4th fret to the 2nd fret to open. All right, it's a very, very easy little pattern. And as you're doing that walk down, you're hitting that D string and hopefully this little 2nd fret up here on the A as well, all right? You don't have to keep it down there for the whole riff, but for at least the first part, it works really nicely. If you can, maintain it down there, it'll work as well, but that's a little difficult. So let's see what we can do here. Ready? Really slowly. Open G, open D, G. Okay, so 5, open 5, and then 4, open 4, 2, open 2, G, D, G. So one more time. Okay. And I'm using all downstrokes for this pattern. It's pretty easy to use all downstrokes here like this. You see that? I'm just hitting all downstrokes there. one more time. It's open G chord, and then open G, open D, open G, right? And then 5, open 5, 4, open 4, 2, open 2, open, open, open. All right, one more time. All right, and that's the first part of the verse. Later on in the verse, they modulate just up to a C chord like that. Right, so your basic C chord here, 2nd fret of your D strings, 3rd fret of your A string, right? Right, so love has shown me. So you got to listen to the song to hear when that C chord comes in, but it's just basically a C chord, and I'm just strumming it easily like that during the verses, and then back to the G again. Now later, there is one part in the song where they do something different when they go up to the C chord. They do this. Back to the G, okay? So what am I doing there? Well, I'm hitting that open G chord. I think that, or that open G string. I think that works in this pattern, but you don't have to. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that C chord and I'm jumping up to what's essentially an F chord here, all right? So you're jumping from the C all the way up to the 7th fret of the D string and the 8th fret of the A string there, right? So like that, okay? So, and then I'm coming down with a little pattern of minor chords here. So what's that? Well, C to that F as I showed you. Then here, which is kind of, I guess, an E minor voicing of some kind. So you got the 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the A, and then you slide that down to 3rd fret here of the D and 5th fret of the A. So really staccato, really choppy, all right? And again, if you want to hit that open G, that will work on the bottom there, but you don't have to, so. And then back to that. And that's the only time that it does that throughout the song, but it's a cool little pattern to get under your fingers. And that is it. That is I Go Blind by 5440 and later Hootie and the Blowfish. A really simple song with only one repetitive kind of lick there, but it does modulate to a couple of other chords there and another little pattern, but it's a really easy song for you to get on the mandolin, but it sounds really cool when you're playing it with those open strings. All right, so have fun with it and go and jam on that one with your friends as well. Thanks very much for tuning into this channel and to this video once again. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that little subscriber button down there in the lower right corner. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks again for coming back, but don't forget, check out some of the links in the description box below, including the link to my new Johansson mandolin. The link is down below for Ross Johansson's website. Also a link there for my new lesson series, Learn Rock and Pop Mandolin, my Patreon page, and Amazon and Sweetwater links down below as well. Lots of stuff for you there in the description box of this video. Thanks very much for tuning in once again to RPM.